Hey guys, today we're going to be doing an unboxing and first impressions video on the all-new Knack Series 2 Medium Expandable Knack Pack. I just got this now, I haven't had a chance to test it out or anything like that, but I thought it would be fun to do an unboxing video. I've actually never done one, and so I wanted to make sure to be able to share some of my thoughts on the new version of the Knack Pack for the holiday season in case it's something you were considering gifting to a loved one during the holidays. So, I'll be doing a more in-depth review for this in about a month or so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when that comes out. We'll dive into the experience of using it, loading it out. I'll do some comparisons with the Series 1 Knack Pack, which is also still available. But for now, it's just going to be a really high level look and just kind of take you through the journey of unboxing this if you were to purchase it. So I'm really excited to walk through it with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. And so to kick off our unboxing experience, I picked out the Benchmade Bug Out, which is one of the pocket knives that I've been using a lot over the past years. And yes, opening boxes is my primary use case for pocket knives, and I'm totally okay with that. I absolutely love them. I'll include a link to the video that I did on some of my favorite pocket knives that I've been testing out, but I chose the Bug Out for this video. And so looking for where we can open this up, here on the bottom you just have a small little piece of tape, and then I really love the box on the Knack bags just because the shape really matches up well with the bag itself, and so it opens up very easily. It has some flaps, and then it just opens up to reveal your beautiful new Knack. And so here you just have some documentation from the company, so a thank you card when you purchase, and then they have some information on the bag that the Knack Pack comes in. It's actually a reusable bag that you can use as a laundry bag, a shoe bag, and so it's nice that they kind of include just some documentation, some cards for referring a friend, and then you just have the Knack bag itself, which again comes with this really great pouch here. I've kept all of those for the Knack bags that I have. They just make great storage options to keep kind of dust off of everything. And then throwing the box aside for a second, getting into the Knack itself, you have this drawstring closure at the top, and so you can loosen this up. It's pretty long. And this is the first look that I'm doing for the Series 2. I haven't had a chance to open it or do anything with it just yet, so we're going on this journey together. And I got the all black version. This is offered in a gray version and an all black, so I was really excited to have a chance to test out the all black. I'm a sucker for black bags, and so got some tape here. I'll go ahead and just pull this off like a kid at Christmas. Can get into it excitedly, and look at this. What a nice looking bag. I really love the updated aesthetics on the Series 2. I like the way the original looked. I felt that it had a pretty professional vibe, but this to me just looks a little bit sleeker. So let me go ahead and clear out the desk here to allow us to focus on the bag itself, which is what everybody came to see. So we have some covering on the handles to just kind of keep everything protected. Oops, using my nails, scratching up the handle a little bit, but yeah, so just great aesthetics. This is a bag that feels like it's gonna definitely blend in well into a more professional environment. That was always something that I liked about the Knack bags, is that they worked very well for work, travel, and everyday usage. And so as far as one of the biggest changes, just kind of looking at the bag initially, is that you have a lot less external kind of zippers and pockets. You had that tri-zipper opening on the Series 1 that had some quick access pockets. You also had a sunglass pocket at the top, and so all of that has been removed to give the bag a cleaner look, and also I believe to put everything behind lockable zippers. So the second version of the Series 1 Knack included lockable zippers, but you still had those pockets on the outside where if you put something a little bit more sensitive, it would be vulnerable to pickpockets. So everything in this area is now behind a lockable zipper, which is nice to see. And Knack has really taken feedback from their community very seriously. One of the biggest changes that I was very excited to see here is that you now have a handle to carry this from the side, which was a big ask that I had, just because the original versions kind of had this empty side here. And since you do have the ability to tuck the straps away on the bag and it has such a clean look, it just seemed like a great bag to use as a briefcase. So that's been added here. The handle itself is very comfortable. It has a nice meshy material. You have one on the top and on the sides. And then I really like that the handle on the side stays pretty flush against the bag, so it doesn't stick out awkwardly and ruin the sleek look of the bag. And then at the bottom, you still have the Knack logo on the front, And then they've also added some leather accents along the bottom to give it just a little bit more of a stylish and premium feel. You also have that same kind of leather or pleather material on the handle, so it feels really nice and durable. The exterior material is a 420D nylon, I believe, and it feels very nice and like it's going to offer a ton of weather resistance. It feels a little more weather resistant than the Series 1 in my opinion. Just kind of by touching it, it seems to have a polyurethane coating that's going to offer some extra kind of protection if you happen to get caught in some rain. And then they also have the reverse coil YKK zippers here, which have worked very nicely on the Series 1 versions that I've used. And then on the side, you still have the same kind of water bottle system that the original had. So you can kind of have a water bottle that extends into the main volume of the bag, and you can leave this open to place your water bottle into, but it's nice that you can close this up and give the bag a nicer look. You don't look like a hiker, you have that professional aesthetic. So you can kind of place a water bottle in here. If it's not too big, you can close it up to conceal the water bottle, but you can leave it open because this area has some depth to it. So even if it's a taller water bottle, it shouldn't spill out or fall over too easily. So love to see that system maintained there. And then moving into the back paneling, let's see. This looks pretty similar to the Series 1 Knack. I think there's been some extra kind of elevation added. You have some more air channels, I believe, which is always nice to help, provide ventilation while you're walking around. They have this same kind of gel-like foam padding on the back that feels really soft and comfortable. I'm always a little torn on this, whether I prefer mesh or this gel-like padding. I like the mesh because it's more breathable here. You sacrifice some of that breathability for this extra kind of softness and comfort. So it can work really well. I've enjoyed the original so far. At the moment, I have these straps tucked away, but you do have this really nice luggage pass-through, which was something that we saw added in the Series 1 when they updated the bag. So the luggage pass-through here works very well. I like the orientation of this because it pairs nicely with the handle, so you can rest it on your suitcase while you're traveling if you're using an extra bag. And then at the top, you have a zipper that I believe conceals the shoulder straps here. So pulling the shoulder straps out for the first time. I like the Knack system for the shoulder straps because they have these metallic clips, so I'm glad to see they kept that. This just feels a little bit more durable than a lot of the plastic clips that I've seen on similar bags that you can hide the straps on. So you can attach these easily, no sort of loud D-rings or messy flaps. It's nice that everything is contained. And then the straps themselves, very similar to what we've seen with the Series 1 Knack. They feel comfortable out of the box. I'll be curious to kind of test this out and see how they feel once the bag is a little more loaded out. So more to come on that when we do the in-depth video. And then you also have on the back this external access laptop compartment, which I'm always a fan of on travel bags, as this seems to be a very quick way to get your device in and out. And so no big changes here that I can see. It can still hold up to a 15-inch laptop, I believe. I'll be curious to test this out with my device and do some drop tests. But it has an okay amount of padding. It's not super thick, but still provides some nice quick access, and it's great to have a dedicated area for your laptop. And so continuing on into the inside of the bag, which is where a lot of the changes are taking place. First, we'll take a look at this quick access pocket here, which is probably where most of the changes happen. Again, you don't have the tri-zipper opening on the front, so all of those little slots that you used to have moved into this area of the bag. So I'll clear my desk out again, just take away all the padding that kind of came inside of the bag when shipping. And so on the flap, you have a nice kind of mesh compartment that has some volume, so it's going to be great for some adapters. I'll see what I can kind of place in here as I'm testing. And then you have some elastic bands here in this area now that are going to be great for pens and other small items. You have the lanyard to attach your keys, which is actually removable, I believe. So I was glad to see that they kept the same kind of hook system here with a nice metallic key clip. And then down at the bottom, you have just simple slip pocket here. You have some small slots that are going to be good for, things like power banks, dongles. Then you just have another slip pocket here that's a little bit shallower. It doesn't go that deep, so maybe a good spot for a notebook or something. And then all the way on the back here, you have the very nice fleece-lined sunglasses pocket. So this will be a great spot. This is what was externally available before. So glad to see that there's at least some spot here where you have a little more protection for your sunglasses. That soft material feels really nice And this might also be a good spot to store something like your phone as well. So overall, at first glance, I really like the changes that have been made here to kind of just add some extra security. You know, I never really used that tri-zipper pocket on the front of the bag that much, so I don't have a problem with it being moved behind this area. And it's, you know, a fair trade-off to lose some of that quick access ability for having the additional protection for, you know, your headphones or your tablets or anything that you might store in this area. And then I also like that it just gives the bag a little bit more of a minimal and streamlined look, which I'm always a fan of. And then taking a look at the main kind of everyday use compartment, this is the largest area that I would use for my day-to-day use of the bag when it's compressed down. And so here, you know, again, you have a nice amount of space. This has always been one of my favorite things about the Series 1 is the layout that you have here. You know, you can use so much of the bag even when it's compressed down as it currently is. And so in this area, you have a nice kind of slip pocket that has that same mesh that we saw in the front area. And so you have some depth here, which is nice. So if you have something a little bit bulky, you should be able to fit it there okay. And then I like the lining that's been used here. It's a little bit different from the Series 1, which, you know, had some orange coloring. So this is kind of a gray and white lining, which, you know, matches up with the color of the bag and just feels a little bit more professional in my opinion. I have a more kind of minimal style for pretty much all my clothing, so this matches up well for me. And then at the bottom, you just have a nice depth for anything larger that you need to store in here. And then you have a little zippered compartment to help add some separation for smaller items that you don't want floating around or that you can find a little more easily at the bottom. And then you have a separate tablet sleeve, similar to what we had with the Series 1, with a nice fleece lining here to help prevent against scratching. So pretty deep sleeve here. It's going to be able to hold a 9 or 10-inch tablet comfortably if you lay it down sideways or vertically. So like to have that separate area to keep the tablet more protected. And then opening up this top compartment, you have another mesh zippered area. So I love all the different areas that you have to kind of store everything and easily find it. You know, I use a lot of pouches, so I normally don't use all of these compartments, but it's nice that they just kind of lay flat against the back of the bag if you don't want to use them. And then you also have this clip included here. I'm not sure what this is for. It's like a compression strap. Not sure if this is for maybe the back of the compartment when you use the clothing area. So I'll have to take a closer look at the Knack site to see what exactly this little clip is for. So nice surprise here. I mean, having clips is never a bad thing. So I'll go ahead and remove that for now so it's not flopping around while we're going through the rest of the bag. But yeah, so you have this little plastic clip that has some G hooks that you can use to compress something down. So I'll take a look through the rest of the bag, maybe circle back to it at the end after I've had a chance to review the site. So nice to have this extra accessory. I'll put it aside for now. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the main area. Really excited to start testing this out as kind of a daily bag in mobile office when I'm working from home. This is the type of bag that I like to kind of just have, you know, kind of by my side when I'm sitting at my table or moving from room to room, or also to go to some coffee shops that are open around my area. I can go sit outside and have a little workstation with me. And then the main kind of attraction of the Knack bags is the hidden compression area. So when the bag is compressed down like this, the volume is about 24 liters. So it's still a pretty sizable everyday carry bag. It's going to give you a lot of flexibility compressed down. This is my kind of ideal size for everyday use, just because it gives me some extra space for gym clothes or just larger items that I want to carry with me. But you then have this expansion on the back. Well, this is the zipper that opens the main compartment. So you have the hidden expansion zipper here under this flap to kind of make sure that the bag doesn't look zipper crazy and to just kind of keep a cleaner look. But when you're ready to expand the bag out, you can easily move this flap up. And again, the Knack system for expansion works very well. Not just the zipper, but just how the space is distributed has always impressed me a lot. And so the zipper goes all the way around, and then you get a ton more space. So you can see just how much extra capacity this gives you. So this goes from 24 liters up to 35 liters when expanded out, which is a really great one bag travel size. I use a lot of travel bags in that area when I'm going for a few weeks of travel overseas. This is the size that's normally the most safe, in my opinion, to be able to carry on to a majority of international and domestic airlines. And so the Knack has this cool suitcase style opening so that you can easily pack everything out. Not quite clamshell, more very much a suitcase opening that allows you to get a full view of the compartment. And so now with it expanded out, you can see it comes up a decent amount, so it's going to be a great spot to hold, you know, larger clothing items, packing cubes. We'll definitely be loading this out fully, doing a lot of testing with it over the next month. But you know, same sort of space that we saw on the original medium expandable Knack. The Series 1 is offered in a few different sizes, which we covered in the review for that. So this would be the equivalent of the medium, but there's a small and a large version. But this medium one has always been kind of the sweet spot for me because it just works so well as a daily bag and can hold so much stuff without looking overwhelming. And then on the inside here, you have this nice kind of compression flap that allows you to just tighten everything down and keep everything in place while you're on the move. So I like the use of that here. It also has this nice mesh so you can see what's in the compartment. But besides that, they keep things pretty simple. And this is always my favorite way to have this sort of compartment because it gives you a lot of flexibility with how you can store everything. It doesn't take up space or look messy. So really nice that they didn't change too much here, as that has always worked very well for them, this style of compartment. And then on the flap, you also have an additional mesh zippered pocket. This is a larger one, and I like that this has some volume. I think this has a little bit more volume than the Series 1, so this is going to be a great spot to, you know, maybe put something like a jacket or some shoes, or even separate out some dirty laundry or your socks and underwear. So really like when this sort of compartment comes up more, as it just becomes way more usable. So I'll have to see what I do with this, but like the other compartments, if you don't want to use it, in my case I use a lot of packing cubes, so I may just kind of compress it down and it stays out of the way. So really excited to start putting this to the test, both for everyday usage and for some trips that I have planned. I'll be doing some road trips to visit family during the holidays, trying to stay as safe as possible, but not be a total hermit when I can avoid it. And yeah, so far as first impressions, very impressed with how the Series 2 looks. Again, I love the aesthetic. I think that they've taken a lot of great feedback from their users to create a much more kind of streamlined experience. I'm excited to test this out. Again, I'll be doing a more in-depth review in about a month, so make sure to subscribe so you can check that out. And in that video, I'll also do some side-by-side comparisons with the Series 1 Knack, so you have a better idea just kind of how the sizing looks, and also so you can see more side-by-side views of the aesthetic differences that they have. So if you're interested in the Series 2, I can definitely recommend checking it out. It feels great. And I did want to circle back around to the straps. So the compression strap that I found earlier in the bag that I was a little bit confused what it was for, it's actually the sternum strap for the shoulder strap. So I like the ability to fully remove this, and this G-hook system makes it a very quick and easy process. These are aluminum or metallic. They feel very durable, and it's nice that they give you that extra support if you want to have that, particularly when you're wearing this expanded out and fully packed out. So just a really nice premium feel. I love the versatility of the bag, and if you're looking for kind of a do-it-all bag that's going to work well as an everyday carry, or you were a fan of the original Knack and are thinking about upgrading, if you have the original Knack, I would say, you know, it's pretty close. It's going to be more dependent on the aesthetics than anything, whether you should upgrade. I have my Series 1 Knacks and they've held up very well. So, you know, if you have one of those, it might not be worth the upgrade if that one's still in good shape. But if you haven't bought a Knack in the past and you're looking to kind of start exploring the one bag life, then this will be a really solid option to start taking a look at upon my first impressions. And again, full review coming within the next month. So stay tuned for my final thoughts after putting this to the test. And so that's it. Those are my first impressions of the Series 2 Medium Expandable Knack Pack. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on the bag that you noticed during the video, as always, please let me know in the comments. And so you can currently purchase this on Knack's site for about $225, which is pretty much in line with a lot of the other great expandable bags that are currently on the market. And given that this is the holiday season, shipping deadlines are fast approaching, so if you want to get this for a loved one by Christmas, you will need to place an order. For standard shipping, I believe it's by the 15th of December, and then you have a few extra days if you want to do expedited shipping. Make sure to check out the company's site to get more information on those deadlines. And if you guys are interested in checking out the Series 1 Knack, which is still a great bag, I'll make sure to include a link to the in-depth videos that I did in the description below, and I'll also include a link to the roundup video that I did for some of my favorite expandable bags in case you want to see how the Knack compares to some of the other options that are available. And I'm curious to hear what you guys thought of the unboxing experience. This is the first video like this that I've done. If you'd like to see more of these in the future, make sure to give this video a like. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.